All right, everybody. So welcome back to my studio. This is Natifa, and today I am going to show you a few ways that I like to color my paper dolls. I call them dressing a paper doll. These are the Tim Holtz paper dolls. This is a portrait. These are like the little, I guess they're portraits, but they're also like film kind of strips or whatever. You can use these techniques to color just a regular paper doll, or you can use them to color these. So I'm going to just show you what I do. I am not going to be using the Distress crayons today because I don't use those to color my paper dolls. They are fantastic. I am just not very skilled in using those to color a paper doll. But if you follow Paula Cheney on Instagram, One Lucky Day is her Instagram handle. You can go to her blog and she has a fantastic tutorial is what I'm trying to say. A fantastic tutorial on how to color your paper dolls with the Distress crayons. Again, they're really fantastic. I am just not very skilled in using those to color my paper dolls. So I'm going to use what I use and show you guys what I use. Okay. All right. So let's jump in and get started. Okay, so one of the things that I like to do first, if I am going to color paper dolls, is I like to prep my surfaces, okay? And you can do this, well, really one way that I do them. I don't this for this specific technique. So I have used the frosted crystals to frosted crystal to coat the surface of my paper dolls before, and then I've kind of gone in afterwards with like watercolors or my gel pen and have done things. Now that is fine and it works great, but sometimes, again, probably due to my own fault, I am not very skilled in that. Frosted crystals and I are just, we always fight. So I always try to find other ways of doing things so that way I don't feel like, you know, I'm kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? That way I don't get frustrated is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to show you what I do use for that. So I've already coated this one with it. So I typically will put some clear gesso over my dolls because they allow them to grab onto certain colors. If you guys know, if you guys look at your paper dolls, they are coated with like a glossy surface. You can see it kind of shining over there. And so it's really hard for them to take color if it's not like a Distress crayon or like one of the Woody pencils or whatever. Otherwise, it's very hard for them to take color. So I like to coat it with some clear gesso. Again, this is the gesso that I use. It's super, I love clear gesso. So I use that. Okay, so the first way that I want to show you guys how to add some color to your paper dolls is with washable markers. Okay, so I have just some Crayola, just some small ones, washable markers, and just regular like markers, honestly. So any washable markers that you can use or you can find, go ahead and use those. I'm going to color these two young men. And what colors do I want to use for them? I'm going to use this purpley color, and well, I'm going to use lighter colors because they have darker pants on. So let's do that. I don't have anything coating this. They're just out the package. And these are from the new Tim Holtz 2023 Halloween 2023 layers and paper dolls pack. So I'm going to use these two colors. And I'm just going to color them for now. So I'm going to bring you guys down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to color them. Their sleeves. The shirt. All the white parts. I'm coloring. Okay, so then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a paper towel after I've colored this because it looks kind of splotchy, right? So See, that looks kind of splotchy. So I'm gonna grab a paper towel to see if I can fix this already, because we don't want it to look that splotchy. We want it to look kind of like it's just tinted, right? Kind of like this one. All right, so I'm gonna grab my paper towel and I'm going to just kind of put my finger like this, and I'm going to just kind of wipe that off. Be careful that you don't really smudge into the other side. Okay. Okay. So now that I wipe that off, this is what you get. It's kind of just tinted. See? Okay, let's try the other side. And what color? I think I'm gonna use this one now. I forgot what color I used. Oh, that's the same color, I think. Yes. Oh wow, they look very similar. Okay, no, maybe not. All right, so I'm gonna go back in here with this other blue. Well, with the blue, that one was kind of green. So I'm gonna do the blue again, and just kind of color all of this. Try not to color my black areas. The nice thing about these markers is that they have a pointed tip to them, so you're able to kind of get into the nooks and crannies of the paper doll outfit and kind of do what you need to do. So there's that. It's really nice to have that available to you. Okay, so that one's there. I'm gonna let this dry a bit. Make sure it's not really too whatever. All right, so I'm gonna go back with my paper towel again, same thing like I showed you before. Just on my finger, and I'm just gonna wipe this off. Okay. So we waited a little bit too long for this one, so it's a little bit darker. So the longer you wait, the darker the color is gonna be. So if you want a really rich color, you can go for that. So I got some of this on his hand. I don't know if you even see that on his hand right there. So all I'm gonna do for that one is just grab a wet, I'm gonna grab a wet paper towel and just gonna go back in there with my brush and just wet that, and it's gonna pop up because this is water. It's like water. I don't know if it's water soluble, but it's water based. The marker is water based, so you can erase things that you make, any mistakes that you make. So that's kind of the cool thing about it too. So if you get any markers on their faces, just go back in there with your brush and just wipe that off, and it'll come right off with a wet brush and a paper towel. So there's that. Okay, I'm gonna try to do their pants. The darker pants are a little bit harder to do with the markers because they just are, but we're gonna try it. So I'm gonna do this like purpley kind of color, and I'm just gonna go back in here and do the same thing. Just color my pants. I am gonna let this dry quite a bit before I try to, move it off. Alrighty. So this is what that looks like with the purple on there. And I'm just going to, same thing with my paper towel, and just wipe that off. Gently this time though, you don't want that to go too crazy off. You could probably even use a Q-tip to get into that nooks and crannies of that one. Alrighty. So here is that. So you can kind of see it's tinted a little bit on that one, but that's our first one, y'all. Just like that, you color that one. So super cool, right? I like it. And if you want to add some stuff to their cheeks, you can. I'm not gonna mess with that with the markers, but you can. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna use for this to color them are gonna be woody pencils. If you're not familiar with a woody pencil, it's like a water-soluble pencil, color pencil that you can just you can use as is, or come on, focus, as is, or you can add some water to it. These are by Stabilo, and they come in a variety of colors. They're pretty big and thick, so just be mindful of that when you're using them. And they do come with a sharpener. You can sharpen them with if you don't have a sharpener this size. It's pretty big, like I said. So I'm just going to take them out and we're going to color these next. Okay. So these are super easy to use and super easy to do to color your paper dolls. So if you're kind of like the marker's too much for you, the woody pencils are really easy. Well, kind of. So I'm going to start with this portrait, this one right here. And I don't need to prep the surface of this at all. I can just go in with my woody pencils and do what I need to do. So I'm going to do the background in green. So I'm just going to kind of just color the background. Let's come down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Color the background kind of around the ladies and then kind of go from there. So hopefully you can kind of see what I'm doing here a little bit. Let's make this brighter a bit. So I'm just carefully going around the ladies on here with my woody pencil. The background. All right, so I've kind of gone halfway here on the photo, and I'm just going to use my finger and just smudge the rest of it. And just fill in the rest of it with my finger. Don't worry if you get it on the white portions, the white border, that's fine. But I'm just going to kind of use my finger to smudge. I guess you could try using this little thing too, but I think your finger is the best one because using one of these will take off too much. The Q-tip will take off too much color for me that I like. So I'm just going to go through and use my finger and just smudge it. And because I can control the color, how much color's on here. Because if you keep going, you can take all of it off the image if you want to, but it just adds a nice little tint to it for you. So you can see there. Now I'm just gonna grab my brush with water, and I can clean up this one because these are water soluble again. So you can definitely just go through and just wipe that off to clean it up. If you don't want all that additional color at the top, or even a wet paper towel or damp paper towel, you can do that as well. Or even a Q-tip, okay? So our background is green. You can kind of see that there. See that? Okay, we're gonna go and do the ladies. I think I'm gonna do like a purple on her shirt, and I'm just gonna color her shirt pretty liberally here again at the top, because we are going to be smudging again. So I try my hardest to kind of get to the edge of the shirts the clothing because that way I don't have to finagle. Is it finagle? What's the word I'm looking for? I don't have to mess with it later on. I don't know words sometimes. All right, so I'm gonna go through and just do that again. Kind of smudge some of that off. Get some color. Now you wanna be careful with your background up here because if your finger's on there, it's gonna start smudging that too. And you don't really want that. So I put too much on here, but I'm just gonna smudge it off because I can clean it up. Because we're just tinting this, we're not like trying to color the whole entire photo. And if you got any on her friend or sister, whoever, they kind of look alike, so they might be sisters. You can just clean that up too. So that's how we have, I need to clean this one up too. On her neck and stuff. Cool beans. Okay, so here we go with hers. Her shirt. And I'm gonna do hers in like a yellow, I think. Yellow, maybe a blue. All right, so this is how it looks so far. And I'm just gonna do the cheeks with the same technique and then we will have, we'll be done with this one. So I'm gonna use pink, this big pink one, just because it kind of gives a little bit more of a rosier cheek. So I'm just gonna do that. Make sure your fingers are clean off though, so you don't put like other colors on your cheeks. Okay, so this is what I how I did them. You can see the little round ones. And now I'm gonna smudge on my finger as well. So I'm kind of just rubbing this in, but it's kind of like, the pink is not too aggressive, so we can kind of smudge down their faces a little bit and it won't be too bad. It'll just look kind of rosy. So you can kind of see, I don't know if you can even see that, but it is a little rosy. If I turn this down a little bit, if you can see the rosiness, I don't know if you can see that or not, but essentially this is kind of what it looks like after you tint it. And so that's the second technique. And you can do this, we'll do this with the rest of them so I can show you, but you can do this with like your portraits, the paper dolls, whatever else, just color and smudge with your finger, okay? Okay, we're gonna do this little guy, and what color do I want to do? I'm still gonna use my woodies for this one, but I'm probably gonna do, I'll put him in blue. So again, that's one of the reasons why I like using the woodies for coloring, because you can get really like the darker clothes colored as well. So that way you don't feel like, because sometimes the other ones is like, it's really hard to get the dark clothes colored, but the woodies are perfect for that because they will color for you these darker clothing. So don't be afraid to jump in there and color these. All right, sorry, I had a studio visitor really quickly. Okay, so again, I'm just gonna smudge this all over his outfit. And then it looks a mess right now because you can see here I have like, well, I don't know if you can see, but I have like stuff on the white clothes. So again, I'm just gonna grab my brush and I'm just gonna clean that up. No worries about any of that because it just cleans up very easily for you. Got some on his hands. I'm gonna clean that up as well. And there you go. So I'm gonna keep smudging over here some more. And then, so he's got a little bit of blue on his outfit. I need to move some of that color up a bit. Up in here some. I honestly think your Q-tip is really great for cleaning. So we have this, see there? And I'm gonna color his, do I wanna color his shirt? I'm gonna color his shirt yellow. Because why not? So again, clean your fingers off first and kind of smudge it away from the other color before you get brown or mud. So here we go. You can't really see his shirt, but kind of. Let me turn this down a bit. You kind of see his shirt a bit there. All right, so there's your little guy. And I'm going to add some color to his cheeks a bit here. I'm gonna smudge that away. Add some more, smudge away. I'm doing it very, very lightly as well, so don't feel like you need to go all crazy on this one, okay? You don't need to go crazy on it. Let's see if we can see his, you can't even see his cheek, but they're rosy. I promise you, they're a little bit rosy, so there he is. Okay, that's him. That's two. And then this guy, same thing. I'm gonna just do, I'm gonna do red. And let's see. Let's just start with red on his, well, we're gonna give him a red suit. See a little bit of a mark on here. And I'm gonna add some some pink to his cheeks. Add some color to them. And I'm just gonna smudge that out a bit. I don't know if you can even see his cheeks, but I'm kind of doing a little bit of a circle, and I'm kind of dragging it down a little bit, because the cheeks sometimes are not necessarily rosy just right here. They kind of drag a little bit down the side of them, of the face a little bit. If you look at people, it's not like they have a circle. So you kind of want to just smudge a little bit and kind of drag it down away from the cheekbone, so it kind of covers the whole thing. So it's very, very subtle, but when you see it in person, it's like, oh, well, that's really, really nice. So here we have our dude. He looks very dapper. He's going somewhere. So again, I don't have full color on this tie, but it's got just enough of a tint for you to kind of know what's happening. So these are the ones with our woody pencils. We have this one right here. We've got this guy right here. And we have our little man right there. So super easy to do, and gets you kind of a lot of colors.